welcome to the Dingus. Is this on? Okay, there we go. Welcome to the Dingus Den for a brand new episode of Before the Cape. We took a week off, but we're back to talk about the episodes Prodigal and Fever. Let's just get right on into it.
Welcome to the Dingus Den.
All right,
That's how
back.
babies are made.
Yeah, yes. Well, we still need to have the Birds and the Bees stream on Twitch. It's so funny because Bear's been laughing about that so much. And he's just like, I can't wait for the Dingus After Dark Birds and the Bees episode. And
There
so,
you
but yeah, it's funny. Always a fun time.
Oh,
yeah, see, speaking of Bear, there he is. He's asking, is this the Birds and the Bees episode? Listen,
no, we were talking pre-production stuff, so
yeah. We'll have to figure out a special time to do it on Twitch. Andrew, come hang out on the Twitch, and on Dingus After Dark, where it's absolutely unhinged there.
Oh no, I think I'm sick that week. I think I got a fever,
Yeah, Ian, just stay home. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we took a week off because we were each busy doing certain things. I was at my local Comic-Con, which was a lot of fun. A couple nights ago, I actually did a stream talking about it. And so if you all didn't see that, go check that out. I called it Con Bonanza March 2026 because on that day, there was like 3 or 4 main / notable cons going on. And of course, I think there's a couple others kind of going on. Like, for whatever reason, it just seemed like that week in particular, there's a bunch of different cons going on. And I was joined by our friend Nicole, who went to a different con up in Chicago. And then I also had my friend Trevor on, who talked about his experience over at the Kansas City Con. It was just a fun chat to kind of talk about, like, oh yeah, this is kind of things that was going on at HR cons. This is what we got to do there, got to see. And so it was just like a fun discussion there. But that is why there was no show last week. So yeah. But we're back this week to talk about some more Smallville. So also Chris is in the chat. What's up?
Hey.
And also Matthew is here as always. Always great having you all here. Other than Birds and Bees, here for kitties and puppies. Well, there's a kitty right on the bed over there. Actually, you can see her foot hanging off over there, which is funny. Oh, and to be a nerd, I guess. That's what we're all here for, Yeah. I want to hear to, nerd out over my over all the things I like, If I don't like it, I don't necessarily want to talk about it. That's not a whole thing here. That I like to do. Chris is saying was a great stream. Love the idea of doing other streams like that. Maybe if you do not to go to any cons, invite people on who did and talk about the con they went to. Yeah, maybe we'll see. That for something that was last minute, it got a little bit of a better turnout than expected, to be honest. At least as far as like people hanging out. Minute? Like me and Nicole talked about doing the idea.
Okay, I thought you were like the con was last minute, and I'm like, you've been talking about this for months.
No, not the con. I would not shut up about the con. Every time somebody was announced, I was like, "Yeah, guess who's coming? Guess who's coming?"
No, did you meet John Snyder?
He was actually one of the people that had to cancel, kind of actually in advance because he had some sort of filming thing he had to go do. I don't know what for, but yeah. But he was like one of the very first people to actually cancel because of that. Because with cons, there's always a bunch of last minute cancellations among flight delays or people getting sick. Like there's somebody I was going to meet that was going to actually 2 of the comic people I was going to meet were didn't happen because of flight delays and then one getting sick and blah blah blah. So anyway, but yeah, I'm glad that went well. So I think I'll try to figure out more ways to do that and whatnot too. And hopefully because of that too, I'll have some fun, exciting things coming on here in the Dingus Den as well. So stay tuned, everybody. Yeah. I guess other than that, though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I realize I talk about all this stuff, but if you want to find out about all this cool stuff, make sure you do that, as well as so you don't miss what did we talk about the other episodes of Smallville too, on Before the Cape here. So, but yeah.
That reminds me, I had a dream last night. Another one, another Smallville dream.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why it keeps happening. But this one was like we would have to do an After the Cape episode about this because it was Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum, like present day them
Yeah.
returning to their roles as Clark and Lex. And Lex now wears a wig. I think because Michael didn't want to shave his head again.
That's funny.
I bet there's some alternate universe in the Smallville world where that's the case.
So I feel like it'd be weird to see him come back. I mean, obviously, I don't know how the show ends or anything like that, but like, it's obviously a conversation that's.
Well, it takes place like when he's like Superman, and his outfit was like really cool. So
he becomes Superman? What?
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 Oh my gosh!
Oh, dang it.
I can't believe you said that.
Oh well. Show's over. Everybody go home.
Thanks for joining us.
Chris is saying Tom Welling did return in the CW as Clark. Wasn't that in the Crisis on Infinite Earths event? I was just about to say Crisis, and you probably would have known what I meant by that, Chris. Yeah, but I know there's a bunch of Crises.
I've told you before, and I will tell you again. Don't go looking into that.
Yeah, I mean, I need to again, or watch it. So I might try to. I don't know.
Watch it after we're done with this show.
Yeah, after in 3 years when we're done with this. No, it's all good. This is taking all. I will say, if we being a show watcher, I do really like, watching these couple episodes every week. It's actually like the only consistent show I really have been watching like in a long time, to be honest. Like, because I've been really bad about watching really anything else, and so, but yeah, it was better than the animated. What? Anyway,
what was better than the animated?
Probably the
Crisis on Infinite Earth?
Yeah,
I haven't watched.
Yes,
I haven't gotten that far in the Arrowverse.
We watched. Well, yeah, we watched part 1 of that together. I remember we were both like, "This was not it," and you didn't even know the comic.
Oh, you mean the movie?
Yeah.
Oh God, that was so bad.
Well, now I know what not to watch.
And they brought Will Friedle back, right? As Terry McGinnis in one of them, right?
Maybe one of the later ones. I haven't seen 2 or 3. I should suffer through them sometime.
I remember that, like, I remember us like talking about that, and I was like, yeah, that's not enough to bring me back. Like, it's so awesome.
I was about to say, it's really unfortunate because I believe it's, I don't remember if it's in part 2 or 3, probably 3, but I could be completely wrong. Is I believe Mark Hamill's last ever time voicing the Joker, because it would have also been Kevin Conroy's last ever time, where they had a little interaction as their universe was getting destroyed.
Oh, they did? Because I thought they had someone else voicing. They did. Jensen Ackles was voicing Batman in the first one.
The main Batman.
Okay.
But I'm saying when it's the Batman the animated series. That world. So
maybe I should watch clips because really that's.
I was gonna say that might be your best bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris is saying 3 was better than 2, but it was still bad. Well. It seemed like that universe just wasn't great. Anyway, I know Andrew said that you might have to dip halfway, or we'll probably have to dip halfway through this. So let's just get right on into these episodes. Yeah, he meant to tell you. I should have said something about this before we got live. But this is what happens when you get here last minute.
Well, then shut up. Let's start talking.
Let's start talking about Smallville.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say anything. So, let's get into these first episode. Prodigal. Prodigal. It's funny when this episode opened. I was like, "Did I put the Smallville disc into the Blu-ray player?"
I was thinking that too. Like, did I click on the right thing? Did I actually click on the other show that was right beside it, which I don't remember?
Right. I was like, "What is it?" I was like, "This." It was a good opening,
obviously
but just
I was watching. I knew what I was watching, but I also was thinking in my head. I was like, "Is this Smallville or is this a Jason Bourne movie?"
right.
Like when he's like fighting the bad guys and getting like thrown down the stairs and everything,
Mhm.
leaping over things, just being chased on a motorcycle. It's like, yeah, this isn't usually Smallville.
Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah, did I click on the wrong episode or what? Like,
Yeah. But with that being said, though, like overall, it was a pretty cool episode. I thought.
yeah, I thought
It
it was really good.
was.
A lot of
It's-
reveals.
We got a lot with it. It was. I mean, I think both the episodes were like pretty juicy episodes, to be honest.
Oh yeah, like a peach.
Like a pea.
Like a peach.
Especially the second one, but
yeah,
maybe
very
the first one
peachy.
as well. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the second one better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the second one's definitely Fever was definitely better, but I still liked Prodigals.
I would say.
I think it pairs well though with this episode because
think so?
yeah, I think we should just talk about both episodes because if Andrew's going to be leaving soon. But
we'll make sure there's at least time for him to get in a little thoughts about Fever before he leaves. Well, let's talk about.
Okay, well, I just
also welcome in Nicole. What's up? Great to have you here.
I just meant that this episode was very much a Luther focused family drama.
Yeah.
And the next episode was very much a Kent focused thing.
Yeah.
That's a good way of looking at it.
It's nice to have that parallel right next to each other. But at the same time, I don't think this episode pairs well or is a good follow-up to the previous episode, Crush. Because like Crush like left everything on like Lana heartbroken. And also Lex and Clark had this very tense standoff discussion where Lex where Clark like threatens Lex and calls him like a horrible person and all that stuff, and he didn't like there's no excuse for that because he's not going to tell people, oh, I was affected by red kryptonite. Even I mean there was the excuse of the worm thing, but he didn't use that. So those were his last conversations with these people. And then in this episode, at the beginning, he and Lana are kind of like joking with each other. Sure, there's the flower that's still in the trash, even though it's like a week later. She doesn't empty her trash for some reason. I guess she really does need help.
Right.
And then later, like Lex is coming over to the farm and like, hey, Clark, here's meet my brother. Like this doesn't track well at all.
This is, I think, the second time I noticed in this season. It feels like there's a bit of a time jump in between episodes, more than just a few days. Like you said, with the flower, it's probably been like a week or so. So I guess they made up, but we just didn't see it because I thought the same thing. I was like, wait a minute, y'all did not end on good terms there. Like,
I just felt like the previous episode. You weren't here for this at this point, Andrew.
Yeah.
But previous episode, Spencer and I were like talking about like my problem with that episode is it seems like a way to force keeping Lana and Clark apart because it was like they're building them and it's like they really don't have a reason at this point that the two of them are not together. So hey, let's have this crazy episode and tear these two apart and like leave it really bad.
Yeah,
but
that
this
annoyed
episode,
me.
it just like it's like, well, why did we need that then? Because they're not acting like anything really happened.
Right.
Yeah. They just like to toy with our emotions, so
True.
Yeah. Bear said he liked the Luther focused episode, both for story and vibes it gave. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice change of I kind of forgot about the Lucas being teased a couple episodes earlier in the season, until Luther was like, "Hey, you're my brother." Because I'm like, who is this guy? Like, what is he? Is he gonna get powers to be the
Yeah.
freak of the week? Like, that's part of
True.
what I was thinking. But yeah, pretty good opening. So
Yeah, I don't know if that's ever a character like that's actually in the comics or original character.
that was something I was wondering.
He is an original character.
Oh, okay.
I just looked it up, and that's what it says.
There you go.
Ian is Google, basically. So
Although
Google was
either,
Smallville.
although what AI is telling me, it's either completely wrong or it spoiled something that
oh no.
isn't right. Well,
Don't read things.
does he? Does it? No. Let me put it this way: does he appear again in the season?
Does he appear again in this season?
Yeah,
No.
Or at least the show.
because it's sounded like your first appearance was not in either of these episodes. I'm like, well, that's just wrong because this is his first appearance right here.
Maybe he's played by a different actor or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, technically, he did appear in Lineage, but he was,
Yeah,
but
none
it
of
was a
that.
photo with
Right.
Lionel and a kid,
Right.
so that was technically an actor in that
Sure. No, I didn't look too deeply into it. I just know the episode number is wrong. And the moral of the story is don't always trust what AI says.
Exactly.
AI is I'm not gonna necessarily
Don't
be
trust
a
AI and
don't
don't
trust
trust
AI.
Lionel Luther.
there we go.
Yes.
There we go. That's a better way of putting it than I will. So this episode though, it was pretty cool though. It is an interesting thought of seeing Lex having other siblings, because it's obviously one of those
Mhm.
things that I don't know if the comics ever explored this concept at all. But the way that this show frames it, it's like, oh, it would make sense that he could potentially have lost brothers or
Yeah.
maybe even sisters out there, just because of the kind of person that Lionel is.
I was gonna say it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
It's basically a Greek god.
Yeah, right. It was a business, business deal.
You're saying I trust Lionel before AI, though. Just saying.
I think I'd go with AI actually.
The
'Cause
way
Lionel's-
AI is currently,
I gotta
know
say
that
AI sort of
won't
takes
try to
over.
kill me right now.
Right.
Right now.
Exactly.
Right
True.
now.
I have a
Right
better chance of surviving AI trying to kill me than I would Lionel.
Yes.
Because Lionel could just get a hitman like he does later in the episode and just be like,
There's no proof of that.
yeah, okay, technically there isn't. Yeah.
yeah. It's funny. But yes.
Also, I gotta say with Clark, when Lionel or when Lex shows up with his brother, and Clark gets mad that he's beating him at basketball, so he starts to show off, and I'm like, Clark, what are you doing, dude? Like, and then Lucas hits him with his arm, and he's like, I felt like a metal plate, like he had a metal plate. I'm like, Clark, like he.
I love that scene because
Yeah.
it shows that, like when we see Clark on Red Kryptonite,
Mhm.
that is partly him.
Oh yeah,
Like to an
100%.
extreme.
Yes.
But that attitude,
Yeah.
that kind of like jealousy and like
Mhm.
bristling attitude, it's there. It
Oh,
is
yeah.
there.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about Kryptonite, red or green or just whatever. It's gonna bring out something in you that you either didn't know was there or just enhance it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So yeah.
for sure.
I liked in
That's
the scene where what is it? Where Lex and Lucas walk into Lionel's office. It's like, hey, Dad, I just want to meet
Yeah.
you to meet your son, your other heir, and like Lionel like hugs him and stuff, and thinking about now, like since these, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure how far back everyone's plan went. That
Oh, I know.
is such a convoluted mess in this episode for me. But when Lionel hugs Lucas, like
Mhm.
Lex is so jealous.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
know.
look on his face is like, I've never gotten a hug.
Yeah.
Right.
I gotta say something before I forget. I forgot to do it for Fever, but the Blu-ray had a deleted scene for this episode. And it was Lex was showing Lucas around the mansion, and they were talking about Lionel and everything. And then at the end, Lex says, "There's 300 more rooms I have to show you, or 400 more rooms I have to show you." And I'm like, "Dang."
What? That place does not look that
I
big.
don't think
Well,
it's that
he's
big.
no, he's probably over exaggerating, but
Unless he's like talking about like underground catacombs that they've been building,
Ooh.
like bunkers and stuff.
right.
Like they have to have an underground.
This is where we hide
bunker.
people that disobey us.
Ooh,
It's possible.
like what is that called? Count of Monte Cristo or something like that.
That word has never been in my vocabulary.
You do okay. There's like a story about like it's a story that the Luther family would probably love, but it's like about like entombing someone in a wine
Oh.
cellar.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah,
Alive.
the Luthers
They-
are
I'm
the
pretty sure
Luthers
they
are
were alive.
dark.
Yeah. So can we talk about like what was really like the plan of either of these people? Because
Yeah, that's what
it
I was
just
trying to
like
figure out.
every time someone started talking, any of the three of them, it's like I don't trust anything that you're saying because every single one of you is telling a different story. And
Yeah.
I really don't know like what the plan is here. Like to like bring Lucas back to like attempt a coup of the company because
Yeah, I
like
don't know.
Lionel Lionel was able to swindle back Lex's company into his own, so he like owns everything again, but
Well, and it was confusing on who Lucas was allegiant to. I think he was going back and forth because they were both trying to use him as leverage against each other, Lionel and Lex. But he kept like there's the scene later in the episode where we realize that Lionel has been able to see for the last few weeks, apparently. And I picked up on some of his reactions and I was like, wait a minute, did he just react to what he wrote on the page? And then when Lucas threw the ball, I am curious if they will ever explain how he can see. Because he just said how long he's been able to see again. But it's like, I don't even, maybe that really is possible in real life and it just, whatever, I don't know. But yeah, it was very much chess the whole episode. So
they even brought that up.
They did.
Lex said that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Andrew says that all the time, that Lex is the one playing
Yeah.
chess, but
I basically wrote the show for him 20 years later. 4 years later.
Yes.
I wrote the show
From
before
the
I was even
ether.
alive. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No, when
Yeah,
he
it was
said that, I
like-
immediately thought back to all this. So.
But I was like Lucas kept like going back and forth, and I was never sure if like he and Lex were always on the same page and always in cahoots together, like this was an entire plan. And I don't even know what the point of the end of the episode was. Like getting Lionel to possibly shoot one of his children, even though they were blanks. Like, what does that get them, and why did that get Lex his company back?
Maybe Lex was trying to prove to Lucas how dangerous Lionel could be, and he said like maybe Lucas was still kind of aligned with Lionel. He said, "Let's try this, and if he tries to shoot you, because he's not going to know it's blanks." That's kind of because I was confused for a minute, and it's the only thing I can potentially think of is Lex trying to prove a point.
Yeah, like the only way he could really get through to him is by doing something like this. I get that. Okay.
Because Lex likes to go to the extreme. So
they all do.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Bear said, "Great work for retroactively working an episode that's like 20 years old, Andrew. Gold star acquired."
It's
golf class. Golf class.
Thank you. I can't, where's my Emmy? Like, I don't know. I will say, I do have one thing in common. One of the things I have in common with Clark is a short-lived coffee shop career.
Really?
Not quite a day. I did beat him there, but yeah. And I won't go down if there's a Lana route or whatever. But yeah,
Was there?
I'm not gonna go down that route. But we have my small town has a coffee shop, and yeah. But I had to go save people. Like my best friend was in danger, so
How long
yeah,
did it last?
more than a day.
Okay.
So
More than
yeah.
a day, less than a week?
More than a week. So I beat him there, but
Okay.
yeah, we'll say under 3 months. How about that? We'll put it there.
Oh, that's good. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Clark would have never been able to last that long.
No. So
No.
I at least
True.
beat him there, but I at least have something in common with him. So
Yeah.
I did like though that when Clark went to I was gonna say audition, but when he went to like say, "Hey, can I get this job?" or like apply, Lana was just like, you just don't really have a great track record with being where you're supposed to be or like keeping appointments."
Yeah. Tough love,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And she was even like, "You can go apply next, across the street or whatever." And Clark was like, "Ouch."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, Lana, tell us how you
Yeah.
really feel. Like, come on." No.
This is like the only hint of like the previous episode other than the flower in the trash, which I do like that they showed that because like it was a nod to the previous episode at least in some way.
Yeah.
Maybe the director or something was like, this doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Let's put the flower in there.
I used my brain power to be like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did,
Well,
yeah. I liked her in this episode,
Yeah.
and that later she was like, "Sorry, Clark."
Right. Well, and I know this is the point of the show, but as watching it, it's so frustrating because it's like you want them to be together
Yeah.
and they get close to it. And then it's either one of them is under the influence of something or Clark finally gets it set up and then has to go. It's like, ugh, like, and
Yeah.
that's not even who he ends up with in the long run. So it just makes it worse.
It's not.
So,
What?
blame Lionel. He told me.
Blame Lionel.
Lionel would know. Yes. Oh, I liked Lionel in this episode where he said, after Clark saved Lucas,
Mm.
and Lionel was like, "Well, Clark is a very special young man," which, okay, I'm glad that they finally revealed that Lionel can see because he
Yeah.
said it's been a few weeks. What has
Yes.
happened in the past few weeks, and what possibly did he see? Like, could he see
Yeah.
in the Insurgents episode where they were being held hostage?
I think so, because that was not that long ago in the timeline.
Mhm.
I don't think Red, because I think that was too far back. But I
Yeah,
do
that was
think
definitely too far.
I think Insurgents he might have been able to see. It would not surprise me because that was something I thought of was, But even Lucas, like Lucas, he didn't seem too confused at Clark being able to get that fast over to him, um, but like I said, he brought it up to Lionel. So, but yeah, it does make you wonder.
Mhm.
So
Here's the thing, though. Like, the last main Lionel episode, I'm looking back through the other episodes. There was that suspect episode, the whodunit episode, where he got shot. It's like,
oh yeah,
if he could have seen, then it seemed like he would have done something more because he very much played the blind card.
Wait a
there.
minute.
well, but he's
Wasn't
gotta
that
play it, though.
and he's moving around pretty well after being shot several times. So it must have been some time since then. But yeah, wasn't that the episode right before Rush?
Yeah, that
Yes.
was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say
So
that
I
though
wonder
because
if,
Insurgents
Well,
was
and
before that. 'cause
It's
that was, like,
interesting
that
is because obviously he reveals to Lex he's not blind in the end, but is he gonna still act blind? Oh wait, no, he did the newspaper interview. Never mind. I was gonna say, is he still gonna act blind publicly? But I remembered that. So that would have been actually neat to see is him still commit to being blind.
I think
publicly,
Lex would
but-
have told the important people. He would have let it slip.
Oh, that's true.
Probably.
Yeah, and they would have then tested it and been like, aha.
But it must mean that there was a good amount of time between suspect and Rush, because this episode here has to take place right after Rush. I mean, that flower in the trash, we could say it's been there for a week maybe, and really that's why Lana needs some help, because she can't even empty the trash. But
and that trash is
that
not
flower's
used at
not
all.
wilted.
Then
That flower's not wilted, so it's been like a day or two.
Right.
But you guys like asked like maybe like how he got his sight back. Well, it was like nerve damage from that initial accident. So maybe when they were like repairing stuff with his newest accident, maybe they were able to repair that.
See, Matt Murdock and now Lionel Luthor are two reasons why you always got to double check if someone's really blind, because they could just be acting. But I did like Lionel's line when he mentioned that how people act when they think you're blind.
Yeah.
So like even with like, because that's true. Like if someone thinks you're blind, they think, oh, I'll get away with this. He just didn't do a good job at hiding it with Lucas. So the pouring of the glass and everything.
Well, I mean, Lucas is really observant then.
Yeah.
And they even said that like right before right before Lionel poured his drink, which was a clue for Lucas. Like he was like examining that sword and was able to tell that it was a replica, not an original. So they pointed out how observant he can be.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Lucas set himself up, I think, to be a good villain of the episode, though. He was pretty good all the way through. His whole
and even the scene with
shop
Lana,
stuff.
where he just kind of is like, "Oh, I own everything." Like he just is like total jerk. I was like, "Wow."
Yeah,
he's good at it, though.
Yeah,
he definitely seems like someone who has never really had anything and has never really had anything like stable.
Yeah,
and is now given the keys to the kingdom and is like a petulant child that doesn't know how things work, doesn't know how to run things, doesn't know how to communicate properly with people, but it's just like, I'm in charge now.
Yeah.
So that definitely came across really well.
For sure.
And Lex getting kicked out, I was like, dang, this is getting serious.
Yeah, that was an interesting plot twist here. And that's why I actually really like this scene that I actually have up backstage as well, where he's talking with Jonathan Kent and he's been like, all right, you've done all the dirty work jobs I've given you, haven't complained once. I thought it was a great little talk between them two.
It was really good till Jonathan got hit over the head with a gun.
Yeah,
I know.
Which, again, if this was a plan between Lex and Lucas,
all the L names, what the heck?
Why did they hit? Yeah, I was stumbling there for a second. It's like, why did they hit Jonathan over the head? Or was it after Jonathan got hit over the head and Lucas was like, I'm going to kill you. And then Lex is able to like convince him to, turn the tables on Lionel.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way I could think that like have it make any sense.
Yeah. Sure. Like I said, I really think Lucas was mixed or more leaning Lionel until the end there. So that's a good point. Like I really do think it was Lex's way of saying, let me prove it to you.
Although, is Jonathan okay? Because that's the last time we saw him.
I mean, we saw him next episode. He's fine.
But when the show came out, though, he would have been like,
This is like the episode with Pete getting drop kicked into a locker head first, and then doesn't appear the rest of the episode, doesn't appear the next episode, and no one mentioned him.
I know, poor Pete. And even in the next episode, never let Clark drive. He should know that by now. Never let Clark drive. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Do
you have anything else about this episode, Spencer?
As I say, I don't know if I have much else. I was going to say if you all want to go ahead and do our superstars, because in that way we could talk about next episode for a little bit before Andrew dips.
Yeah, the only thing last thing I want to say that I liked about this episode is that conversation that Lucas and Clark had when they first met, where Lucas was like bringing up the idea that like if Lex and Clark switch places, like they would not be the same people, you know? I that so much of what we are is who we are raised by, how we are raised, and the environment we are raised in. So I really liked that discussion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good part. All right. Let's do our superstars for Prodigal.
Ooh.
I think I have one on mind if you want me to go first.
Sure.
Sure. I was gonna say I don't usually nominate myself to go first.
Yeah, usually it's me. I'm like, what the heck?
I know. You know, I will give it. You gotta give it to Lionel for being such a great actor for who knows how long he's been fooling us for this entire time.
The entirety of
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I know.
He's been fooling us, and we realize fully in this episode too, just when also Lex comes to the realization that he's just playing. He's been playing checkers while his father's been playing chess, and so you gotta love the chess player who knows exactly what he's doing and pulling all the strings and all that stuff. And so,
Yeah.
it makes me
I don't
wonder
mind if you
too.
won't.
Makes me
Oh,
wonder
sorry.
too of like how much of the outcome of this he probably predicted would happen as well. You know, like he probably had a pretty good
Yeah.
idea of everything that's going to happen. And at the end of the day, it's probably just a big trust of, can I trust the child that I fostered, or can I trust the child that I
Yeah.
left?
Yeah.
And he even mentioned the social experiment there of having a kid that has everything and a kid that has nothing.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Yeah,
So-
he has an answer for everything.
yeah,
Like, people come out with him with, like Lucas came out at him with, "Why did you not come and find me till I was 12?" And that's one of the things that shows like lies
Mhm.
upon lies throughout this episode, because like, yeah, Lionel has
yeah,
been keeping tabs on him for that long. He's been watching him
Yeah.
his entire life, as he said. And so he's like, "Why didn't you come and find me?" And it's like, well, because your mother hid you from me. I
Yeah.
think that's what he said. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, she
Mhm.
didn't. No, she didn't.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Such a good evil.
Mastermind.
He's such a good evil mastermind type villain. So
Yeah. We don't need any meteor freaks of the week. All we need
Yeah.
is Lionel. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
and this was, again, this episode and the next episode were, again, 2 episodes this season that no superpowered meteor freak. Like, that's been, I had forgotten that this season had so many episodes without any meteor freaks. So
They used it all up in season 1, so
Yeah.
Yep. All their
Yeah.
budget.
Sure.
All gone.
right.
All the
No, I agree with you, Spencer, though. I am gonna go Lionel too, just because as evil as he is, I love strategy and
Yeah.
chess and everything. And so him having everything thought out, but also having the balance of Lex counter attacking was
Yeah.
fun. It was a fun back and forth this whole episode. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Who's gonna win in their game? The Lex's red checker piece or the black queen? Anyway, who knows?
Yeah.
All right. What about for you, Ian?
This is hard for me.
Come on, you got it. That's something.
I'm just gonna go Clark in this episode.
All right.
I know we usually try to
Yeah.
find something
Yeah.
else because he's usually the safe bet, but I just don't really have anyone else in this episode that, like,
That's
again,
fair.
I agree that I really liked like the machination stuff, but
Mhm.
I wasn't feeling it as much in this episode. It was all a little too convoluted for me, and like
Sure.
I didn't really understand a lot of the point of a lot of it. So I'm gonna go with Clark, specifically because like Lucas is like an enemy in this episode for him,
Mhm.
but he still will never allow that to get in the way of saving someone's life, even when they have directly threatened the livelihood of the person outside of his parents that Clark cares about most. And he immediately saves him. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
All right. Good answer. All right. Well, let's get into Fever, which I gotta say, the beginning of this episode, I was like so excited. I'm like, oh, we're
Yeah.
getting more stuff with the ship. We're gonna get some answers. And then I learned, oh, that's not the kind of thing we're getting into right away, at least.
Yeah. Well, I gotta
Like,
say, I did not know she was gonna bury the whole flower bin. I thought she was just gonna bury the
well,
key.
but remember, Clark can't see through that, so it makes sense. 'Cause that's
Right,
why
I
he
guess
was
that's
doing
true.
that.
But then the flower
The
thing's just gonna
flower
be
tin
missing.
isn't made of lead.
But like, isn't that why she was keeping it there though? Because it was something that he couldn't see through.
I don't think she knows
No,
he
she
can't see
kept
through
it
lead.
there because like those guys aren't going to do any baking.
Yeah.
They're never going to look there. But
I thought that was the point of it the whole time, unless I misunderstood.
you would
I don't think-
not keep something edible in a lead container.
No,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Oh,
You
sure.
get lead
no.
poisoning.
But if you noticed,
Yeah.
she specifically put it under canisters
Yes.
in there that were labeled as having lead.
Right.
So that would
Yeah.
protect it. But I'm wondering though, okay, because like before the episode with Tina masquerading as Whitney and put the necklace around Clark's neck and it turned, the ship saved him and like purified the kryptonite. Do you think like it didn't purify whatever this was? Like this looks like kryptonite, but it like wasn't exactly because it was like organic.
Maybe
you
it was the
think, like,
kryptonite
it
that got
was-
in the soil or something, and it turned
Yeah.
organic.
Yeah, like got
Maybe.
into spores because it was a spore.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if it's like the lead containers that like
Ooh.
covered that and protected that area
Yeah.
from the ship's influence.
Yeah. I did want to ask. Normally, I wouldn't say this. Would I be able to share my thoughts overall quickly, and then
Yeah.
y'all can theorize? So I liked this episode a lot. This was probably, I think this was my favorite of the two, partly because I am not familiar with Martha's story, like in the comics or anything like that. And while I don't think they would kill her off this early in the show, that was a thought that kind of popped up in my head was, okay, this could happen. Especially with like the organic kryptonite thing. It's like, they're not going to know what to do with that, and then obviously her secret being that she's pregnant, I thought was, like, oh, like heart, and then like the ship and everything of like, oh, it can heal her. And even Clark, I was surprised it affected Clark as long as it did. But I guess there was no clear kryptonite in the area to help whatever. And the scene with Chloe was really good. And then he says Lana, and I'm like, Clark can't get anywhere with a girl. It's like as soon as 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. Like I was like, oh, geez. And he has no way of knowing that that's what, and Lana knows, and that was a great ending.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just the suspense throughout the episode was really good, and a lot of it was uncertain for me. Just like I said, not being familiar with Martha, and so yeah, I just kind of overall, I really did enjoy it. So
Yeah.
I mean, it is totally possible that they could have gone the route of keeping Jonathan alive, but having Martha be the one that Clark loses.
see, I thought that they might do that, especially when Jonathan said that the doctors don't think she'll make it. I am curious, and I hear your thoughts real quick on the blood being able to be drawn from Clark. I didn't realize kryptonite would weaken his skin.
Right.
That was
See,
interesting.
The way I think about it with that is Kryptonians don't have powers on Krypton. Under a
Yeah.
red sun, they don't have
Yeah.
the same abilities. So from what I see, it's the yellow sun radiation
Mhm.
has an effect on their bodies that
Yeah.
gives them these abilities. It's like a specific gene that has to be unlocked by some sort of
Mm.
radiation or something like that. So
That makes sense.
maybe it like specifically with the skin or the muscles or something, it um contracts and makes them much more dense under that
Yeah.
type of sun. But kryptonite, as we've seen, negates
Mhm.
the sun's effect. Um,
Yeah.
so I think, especially since this was internal, he breathed this stuff in, it
Yeah.
was having a much more detrimental effect on his body, um,
Mhm.
to the extent that that was possible.
Yeah. No, that sounds about right. Um, I was
It's not
trying to think
sciences
not
we can muster.
right.
Yeah.
Um, as far as my superstar goes, I was trying to think this one was well balanced, I felt like overall around with performances and stuff. I was almost thinking of someone like a Pete or the doctor at the hospital just because like as an underrated aspect because Pete is able to help out the Kents so much now because he knows.
Oh
And
yeah.
the doctor now knows Helen, she now knows something is different about Clark. And it's going to be curious to see does she expose that or slip and tell Lex by accident, especially if she does
Yeah.
move into the mansion.
Yeah.
I guess that's not really applying for superstar. That's just more theories, but probably Pete, honestly, just because he's able to help them out so much now, and a lot would not have happened in this episode if it weren't for Pete.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was like that cornerstone
That's
for
a
them
really good
throughout the
answer.
episode, so,
Honestly,
yeah.
I'm kind of upset at the Kents in some ways sometimes with how often they are dragging Pete into
Right.
their problem. And I mean, he would do it because he's their friend and stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But this is serious stuff. He was being
Yes.
chased. He was having
Oh,
guns
I
pointed
know.
at him. Like,
It's definitely a lot.
it's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
And they've had him break into places before, swap out his DNA for
Yeah.
Clark's.
That is
This
true.
poor kid
He's
is,
obviously loves Clark and the Kents because
yeah.
maybe he's worried they'll send Clark after him if he's like, "I'm done. Like, I'm outta here." You know?
Yes, he's doing it all under threat.
Right.
I mean, wasn't that when Ryan read Pete's thoughts, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure his thought
It was,
oh
like,
his thought
stressed or
his
overwhelmed
thought
or
was
something.
that Clark would flip up
Yeah.
and the people would find out and
Mhm.
bad things would then happen to Clark.
Yeah.
So so I guess to keep that from happening, to keep his biggest fear from happening, he wants to do
Yeah.
whatever he can to help them,
Mhm.
which is a lot. It
Yeah.
actually puts Pete in a really good column.
Yeah.
That's true.
Alright, well, I do have to head out, but I will catch the rest of the episode through
All
replay
right.
Okay,
because I'm curious about some of y'all's thoughts. Sorry I have to head out early, but,
All righty.
life, so
bye.
All good.
bye.
We will see you all next time, or see
Thank
you
you.
next
Thank you for
time.
letting me go ahead and share my thoughts. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
All good.
See you guys.
Same
Bye.
Cape time, same Cape channel.
All right. Well, now you're just stuck with me. So scary.
Mhm.
All
I
right.
had a question for you though, Spencer, before I move on.
Okay.
Do you think that Lionel Luther likes mini golf? Do you think he's any good?
It was gonna be like, why? I feel like it's too small scaled for him, you know? Like, I feel like he wants something grander than mini golf.
Oh, his
you
mini
know,
golf would not be like any other people's.
I was
mini
gonna
golf.
say,
This would be like mass historical diorama,
that'd be fun.
like down to the tiniest detail like historical detail.
Oh my gosh.
And the loser gets flogged.
Loser gets Jesus. Okay. Sorry. Bear also just kind of distracted me with his last comment where he said, AI search the birds and the bees, Andrew. I may or may not be sending that over to him. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. It would be fun to see what a... Do we know, like, if he was he millionaire, billionaire? Like, how much... What was he classified as?
I'm guessing billionaire.
You know what? This proves my point even more. Of I'd be really interested in seeing what a billionaire's personal mini golf would be. Like, that sounds like a lot of fun. You know, because a lot of times you just like, oh, it's outside and it's just all a bunch of props. And probably the coolest one I've been to is like an indoor one. There, it's like kind of like a glow in the dark one. I've been to that one like once or twice, which is cool. But like, you know, kind of a lot of the same that you see.
I know a lot of corporate rich guys like play golf. I can't, like, regular golf. I can't see Lionel playing regular golf. I can't. Especially like him having to like walk across this field. I guess they drive, but he would never want to get his like pants dusty, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Bear says he's maybe a football fan. Don't the Luthers own / sponsor the Metropolis football team?
Oh, I think so. That is a season 4 reference.
Oh.
The Metropolis Sharks, I think they're called.
Metropolis Sharks. Well, at least they have a cool mascot, even though I don't care for the sport at all. So. I have to ask, now since you rewatched the episode, do you get what I was saying earlier? Because earlier, I just randomly messaged our group chat saying, that's where they keep the peaches? And then Ian here responded with just ... and then saying the lack of any context here. And that made me laugh. And so...
Yeah, I didn't remember that from this episode when I watched it several years ago. To me, it makes sense that they would. It's like,
here's the thing. Like, it's all that I don't understand it being in a cellar. It's more of you look around in that cellar and it's like, where does it look like anything edible is there?
That's true. Like, there's like broken furniture like in one corner.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look in like anyone's attic, like places are a mess.
Right.
Like, there's a jimble jamble of things, but I don't know. Maybe she specifically moved some down there just so she would have an excuse in case, because she's like thinking ahead, because you know she hid the flower thingy under the sink, and then she's like, oh no, Jonathan's gonna see that, and so she moves it. So but what did you like think of her reasoning for hiding it in the first place, hiding the key? Because she says later that the reason that she does it or did it is because she was afraid that if Clark used the key to open the ship and found out about his origins, he would want to leave them.
You know, that's a really interesting thing, because it's like, I mean, obviously we know he wouldn't, but it's just like, even with kind of knowing that sort of meta knowledge, you don't get that vibe at all. I don't at all, because it's like you see how much he cares for them and the lengths he always goes for him, you know, and it's, I don't know, it's always interesting of the ideas of like, you know, the family that you actually spend time with versus the family that's actually part of your bloodline, you know?
Mhm.
And they're like, it's always interesting that it's like, even though you raised him, it's like they could still would think like, he might leave us if he finds out that he's not really one of us. And so
It's true.
it's interesting. It's one of those things too. It's like maybe she's just having a day and she's just like thinking the four extremes when, you know, because it's like I feel like on any normal day she wouldn't necessarily think that, you know.
And yeah, maybe the baby has something to do with it because like she even tells Jonathan that the reason she didn't tell him about the baby was because she was afraid that if she said it out loud, it would get taken away from her.
Yeah.
Because like she, she hasn't been able to have kids. Um and that, and they probably went through a lot to learn that she couldn't have kids. Um and then her greatest wish is to have a kid and she gets Clark. Um but then like, this baby happens and it's like, I've had it happen in my life where it's like anytime something good happens, I'm afraid that something bad is going to happen and take that away. Um so I think, yeah, what you were thinking, like she's like thinking in extremes.
Yeah.
Um so that this baby might go away, and like especially like with Clark, like everything that's been happening over the past 2 years, it's like things that could take him away from them.
Yeah.
And like the Luthers like trying to find this key, and like
Mhm.
everything with the ship and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's a valid fear, but yeah, I think it's kind of extreme, and in a way it's kind of selfish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like she specifically says you can use this key to open the ship and Clark might find out more about
Mhm.
his past. That is something really important,
Yeah.
you know? It's like as you were saying, it's like, and this is something we talked about before, um, that Clark hasn't really been that curious about where he's come from, even though he knows that he came from another planet. He like there's so much that he doesn't know. And like we saw like him
Mhm.
being like kind of obsessed with the caves and stuff. And maybe that also played into what Martha was talking about.
Yeah.
But but to like he's so content with them, and he loves them so much that it's never been that strong of a thing for him to like want to figure out. But it's still important. It's still a part of who he is, and for her to
Right.
like withhold that is it's valid, but it is selfish in a way.
No, I completely agree. And then I think it's to a point too of like I wonder how much it's gonna obviously we know it won't stand, but it's like it could almost like villainize her for a little bit too, once, seeing in Clark's
Mm.
eyes of being like, "Oh, you hid this from me for so long intentionally," you know?
I
But it
think
might
that
not even be that bad. You know what I mean? Like the initial gut reaction sort of deal of being
I get it, but I think that the events of this episode and almost losing her would
yeah. Sure.
override any of that.
Probably. Oh.
And it's jumping off of that. Um, Clark had several people in his life um, faced with the threat of possibly losing him. And so, what do you think about that with like Chloe and Lana?
Well, is just really interesting seeing how all the people sort of react to that situation that he's in. One of the moments that really stood out to me was the moment where uh, Chloe was there with him, uh, and just how she is still being herself to Clark, despite him not feeling well.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but yeah, like that was actually a personal favorite probably scene in this. I'm trying to like look back at where that is. And I'm like, I don't remember where that is. Oh, right here.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
You found it.
And so that part was really good.
Yeah. But she immediately gets like, they don't even like let that just exist and let her like
Sure.
have that moment, because like she even says in her letter, she's like, I'll let you go for now, but you know, they don't let her just have that special moment. They have to like
It's
punch
true.
her in the heart.
It's also true. Show keeps on doing this of like, come on, why do you gotta do this?
Yeah. And then Lana finds her letter later.
Yeah, it's true. That was an interesting twist right there as well. The drama of it all.
It definitely pushed Lana to like, see, this is okay. I kind of wish that this episode had been switched with the previous one.
Yeah.
Because like they could have easily had it be that Lana was still mad at Clark after what happened in Rush.
Right.
But then the events of this episode and almost losing him would, you know, shift her perspective. I think that would easily be able to like, you know, kind of cement them again, that they are kind of, you know, like, you know, not enemies again.
You know, this brings up a good point, because this isn't the first time we've really talked about, well, if this episode was switched with another, it could make more sense overall when you really delve deep into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder, too, of like how much that might have been the case, and then it just wasn't aired in that order. You know? Like, the only reason I bring that up is because over on Rumble Nerd Radio, we just started a new show this week that we're aiming to do bi-weekly, maybe, where we talk about Firefly. And the fun thing about Firefly is that premiere episode, long story short, they didn't premiere it first because they were like, oh, this is going to be a week premiere episode. And so that was the last episode they actually premiered. Well, like, completely screws it up because it's like, well, it shouldn't have been that way at all. It makes no sense. But point is, I'm saying, though, is like things deliberately airing out of order does happen.
Yeah, it does a lot. A lot. It used to happen.
It used to, right? And this is from that era, you know?
Yeah.
And so, kind of just playing into the point that I was trying to get to of like, maybe certain episodes were too, but then when you watch them week to week back then, you may have not looked into it as much as we are now, especially when we're watching episodes back to back and kind of more delving into it then, you know? And so, but it is interesting though. Like, I think that's a valid point of like, I do wonder if there's certain, if the show would be in a way better if we kind of did our own order, whereas like overall the same, but they'd swap around some here and there, and it'd be like, oh, this could make, you know, better sense overall. And so
I do think that overall, even though this is at least at this point, it's still overall an episodic show, where each, you know, episode is kind of individual. However, and I've been surprised when I've been rewatching this because I haven't rewatched it in this order, you know, chronologically since the second time. Well, no. The point is I haven't watched it that way in a really long time. I just pick episodes here and there. So I've been really surprised and actually impressed by how well this show from episode to episode works together, like, and builds on top of each other, and the character interactions, you know, all build to something, and it's worked really well. But there's been just a couple here and there, it's just especially that previous episode that just doesn't match. It doesn't match
Yeah, it
with
does
what came
happen
before.
sometimes. Yeah,
So if this episode had just been,
sure.
it would have worked. It wouldn't have worked with the Clark and Lex thing because, like, in the previous episode, Clark says, "Dad, I trust Lex." And I'm like, well, that's kind of on a weekly basis thing there, Clark. Like, sometimes you hate him, sometimes you
Right.
don't him.
Yeah,
Yeah, Clark's a little schizophrenic. So,
sure.
but yeah. But I did my point, and I do have one. With the Lana and finding that letter from Chloe, and it pushing her to, at least let Clark know that she does still care about him and that
Yeah.
he's important to her. But the way that they did it, and like having her be all like, well, it's just my way of saying it, even though some people are better with words than I am. And like the look between her and Chloe and that back and forth shot between them was very like standoffish. Like Chloe doesn't know that she found the letter. She doesn't know what
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
talking about, but Chloe is still hurt by like Clark saying Lana's name in his unconsciousness. So it made the two of them enemies here, or at least um opponents some way.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like that. I think their friendship on all these previous episodes, and especially the building of that friendship, has been one of the really good parts of the
Sure.
show.
Yeah.
And they've even said before they started off this season with like, let's not have Clark come between us. But obviously, when you're a teenager and when there's these many hormones flying around and the
Right,
drama,
exactly.
constant drama in
Yeah.
their lives, it's not easy. So I get it, but I just don't like it.
No, that's valid. I mean, it's almost not quite as bad as it was in Rush, but like it is like to the same degree of like, is it really worth trying to tear down these, relationships? And so I don't know, I guess we'll see where it's all going, Like I don't know what's
Mhm.
beyond this, so I don't like that relationship possibly being punctured isn't one that bothers me as much yet, because like
Mm.
obviously we know where things are meant to be going with Clark and Lana, but those two characters with Lana and Chloe, I don't personally have as strong feels for her, but I do also agree of like that has been a good relationship explored. So it's like, is it really worth putting some sort of uh blockade to a degree? Like maybe not like a huge one, but like some sort of wall,
Mhm.
So I don't know. I like I said, I don't have as strong feelings over this one, but we'll see where it goes though. If anything, that's the other thing too, is it's like clearly we also just talked about, well, things might happen and then it'll get ignored next episode. So
What's the next episode, actually?
it's called Rosetta.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to it next week.
Yeah.
But we still got some other things to talk about this with this episode. Such as the Kents committed theft.
Again.
Again. Somewhat a bit of a bigger scale though,
Is it
but
technically theft because it's theirs?
Yeah, okay. At least trespassing.
Yeah. And knocking a what was that? Is there like military guards? So that's possibly worse. Clark just committed a crime against the United States.
I know. I when that was happening, I was like, how in the world are they gonna get out of this one? It's like it's literally a car chase that happens.
I know.
I'm like, this is crazy.
I didn't remember either until the second before the Pete reveal. I didn't remember that was gonna happen. I was like, They're literally being chased. They have a helicopter above them. I don't remember how they get out of this.
I know. It was a wild time, for sure.
I also
What else
learned
is
that this
Yeah.
is the only episode that John I can talk John Snyder, um, Mr. Kent. It's the only episode where he had the most screen time in the episode
Oh,
because usually that's Clark,
yeah. That
but
makes sense.
Clark was Clark was on some downtime.
He was.
It's not till, and this is pretty early for that to happen, because usually in like later seasons, they have some Tom Welling light episodes, specifically because the next episode he was directing. But that wasn't happening this early. So he just got a nice break for a few days to just lay on
Yeah.
the couch while Jonathan went and went all Mr. Spy Guy.
Yeah. I did like saying I always like the Superman stories when done right of like when he's not the obviously this episode isn't that necessarily that way. It's a very light version of, but like the world without sort of Superman stories. I always love when those stories are done right. There's always something that really stands out to me. And I always like exploring that sort of idea among how people react and stuff. And so like I said, this is a very light version of that. But like I still enjoy when we get things like that. And so but
Yeah.
I wonder too of like would we see the ship do the whole thingy it does, the big flash here? It's like surely somebody else saw that. Like they're in the middle of sure it's still Smallville, but like that's the middle of like the populated part of Smallville right there.
But as we heard when the doctor called the time, it's 2 in the morning.
Okay, there's crack addicts up at 2 a.m.
Crack addicts in Smallville? Well, it's possible. And obviously, it's a hospital. Like, my question with the ship, though, is that it can
maybe
heal.
if that's
It
all they
can-
see, I think it's
Now, can the ship only heal? Well, no, it can't. It's not. Because Martha not being able to have children was not a kryptonite thing. So the ship can heal more. It doesn't just purge kryptonite, it can heal people. So did it
Or-
heal the entire hospital?
or what if whatever the kryptonite attacked was already part of whatever made her not being able to have a baby? So then when it gets rid, she's then fine.
But the reason that
This is a very convoluted way, but yeah, go
But the
on.
reason she can have a kid now is because the ship healed her back in the
Yeah.
first
Because it got
episode.
rid of the kryptonite.
Why would she have kryptonite in her?
Well, I was saying like whatever just happened though with the episode, maybe like it attacked the whatever symptom it was. I don't know.
Okay, my question here is, did it heal everyone in the hospital?
I don't
with
think
that?
so.
Okay, then that means that it targeted her. It healed her and it
Yes.
healed Clark.
Yeah,
Why?
because he had kryptonite.
But it healed her before. She didn't have kryptonite before. She couldn't have kids even before the show started.
Right.
So before there was any kryptonite there. So it healed her. So it can heal more than just kryptonite problems. So I get why it would like heal Clark.
Yeah.
because he's like Kryptonian. It recognizes him as such, perhaps.
Hmm.
But why would it heal her? How would it know heal her?
Well, like you're talking about in the moment here of this episode, right? Like,
In this episode, it heals her. Why?
but isn't it because she's sick of this episode? Is because of the kryptonite dust? Is that not why?
Well, then why did it heal her in Vortex, in the storm cellar?
Because she didn't have any kryptonite in her then.
No, she didn't. So why would it heal her then?
Oh, you're talking about that. Okay. I see what you're saying now. I forgot about that that specific moment you're talking about. Because then
Well, they brought it up in this episode too, saying
They
that's
did.
why she can have kids, because it healed her.
right. You know, it's interesting then. Maybe you can recognize anybody that is like a key bearer, is a trusted ally or something. I don't know. Like there has to be some sort of sentience with it, right? Like
Hmm.
you
That's a
know,
possibility.
probably some genetic / biological weird thing happens. Best explanation I can come up with. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to completely wrap my head around because I completely forgot about that moment here. And when you're talking about it, I was like, oh right. Yeah, it has to be something with some sort of sentience of it to some degree, and like we know Kryptonians are at least capable of robotics,
Hmm.
at the very least. Sometimes more. It obviously it depends on the iteration you're looking at as far as how high or how much sentience that things can have. But you know,
I mean, we have already determined that kryptonite is sentient.
yeah,
So
Brainiac is
maybe the chip
behind
is
it all.
too.
Yeah, I think it would make sense that if the ship can recognize that her and Jonathan probably has more reasons to trust her than Jonathan, but like it can probably detect that, you know.
True. I bet Jonathan has kicked the ship before.
Yeah, you probably
Seems like that kind of guy.
you probably hurt the ship's feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tracks.
I mean, Jonathan has been, he's been in mortal danger quite a few times, and the ship has done nothing.
He also doesn't give a crap about the key versus we see Martha very much care about the key.
Hmm. That was one thing, though. That was one plot hole with this episode.
Yeah.
Is they say that they need the key to activate the ship, which, yes. But the ship already activated without the key to save Clark in that episode with Tina, because they didn't have it then. It purged the necklace kryptonite by itself. So, but maybe that was different. Maybe maybe it's like power levels thing. Maybe that's like a built-in failsafe that doesn't require the key to like purge kryptonite around. But
I was gonna say because that's like there is the condition there of like that was an visible fair chunk of kryptonite. Like I'm not gonna say a big chunk, but like a fair chunk. Like
detectable.
Yeah, versus if it's inside the genes, right? They would then realize, oh, you're just sick. Let's see what I could do.
Yeah.
Boom. I don't know. There's definitely some nuances there where it's like, I don't know, but maybe. We'll see. I don't know. It is lots of questions when you really look into it and you're like, who knows? I get what you're saying though, because if you didn't bring these up, I would have just accepted it as things were. But now that you're talking about these things, obviously,
I
it
don't
obviously
let
never.
people just accept things.
I know, I know. This is why you're here. You make me and Andrew second guess everything we just watched.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
but you've at least maybe helped me realize that this episode is a peach. I would say this episode's a peach. So, it
Good episode.
was a pretty good episode. Plus, gives us juicy things to talk about. So,
Like, why would Lex want Martha's medical files?
see, that's an interesting one there too, and that could partially hold an answer that we don't have yet either. So, say there's a lot to it. Who knows?
I mean, it could very well be exactly what he said, that the Kents are important to him. But he's been around this family too much with a little too many miracles that happen. That, yeah, he had an opportunity to, like, learn some stuff. And
Yeah,
he took that.
for sure. Who knows? Always interesting. This is interesting too in this episode. Andrew mentioned it, but we don't really get to it either. Of Lex and the Doctor. Lex is trying to, take their relationship to the next step, to the next level. There.
I think. Okay, so there's like two ways you can look at this. Actually, there's several ways you can look at this.
Two main ways that you think of, though.
Okay.
So.
Well, the first thing I want to say, which actually is not related to either of those two things, but obviously they've been going out for a while.
Yeah.
They've kind of, like possibly like solidified their relationship. The last time we saw her was when he confessed that he needed help, and she reached out and took his hand, and they walked away together. So it's possible that they have been, like taking it slow until now, but like, he got kicked out of his house in the previous episode. And he did not go to his girlfriend, which you would think he would do. If you need to stay with somebody, you go to her. But it's possible they weren't at that level. Or it's possible that he just is obsessed with the Kent family and that's where he goes. But I just wanted to bring that up. But anyways,
Don't know.
the ways that you can look at this is two ways, because like he is seemingly perfectly ready to let her go. Let her, because she's been offered this position at John Hopkins School and research, and as she said, that medical research is the most important thing for her, and he's about ready to let her go. But then the stuff with Martha is happening, and then the miraculous healing happens, and Helen's not telling him anything, and then he gives her a key. So is this Lex being like, hey, I want to be with you? Or is this hey, I can get closer to you and possibly find out what you know?
It's a good question.
Because Andrew mentioned that he watched the deleted scene for the previous episode, but there's a deleted scene for this episode as well. And it actually, I didn't watch it. I obviously have seen it before, but I didn't watch it. But I read online what it was. And it was with Lex talking to Clark about that she's going to leave. And Clark's like telling him, you should do something. You should, try to keep her. So But without that scene, and since it's a deleted scene, it doesn't exist. So now we can question his motives.
It's true. Well, when he gave the A and B possibility there a moment ago, I was like, B very much sounds like a Lex thing, but at the same time, it's like, you don't know, because it's a girl in this case, so...
It's just one of those things, as you said, it's a Lex thing. But what's also a Lex thing is for him to do things and not fully know why he's doing them. He can convince himself that he's doing it for one reason, but subconsciously, he's doing it for more nefarious reasons.
Yeah. Bear has some really funny headcanon in the chat here he just posted saying he has a headcanon now, has poor/homeless Lex going to his doctor girlfriend's house to say, "Hi baby, I'm no longer sugar daddy, I need a sugar mommy." Or sugar mama. Anyway. Just made me laugh. So but anyway, yeah. Pretty yeah. I do find it interesting though that this point comes up too of it seems like it's been a bit since we last actually saw when was the last time we would have seen her? The Clue episode?
And it was Visage, which was the episode right before that. It was the episode with Whitney. Or not Whitney.
Really? She wasn't there at all for when Lionel got shot at all? Okay.
It was different doctors.
Proves my point even better, I guess. Of it's been a bit since we've seen her, and so it's interesting that I also I get why they wouldn't necessarily focus on their relationship as much of it being a background relationship, but at the same time it's moments like this where they try to do more with it. It also kind of seems almost out of nowhere being we've barely seen you two together,
Yeah.
And so when this happened, I was like, whoa. But the same, I was like, yeah, okay, I guess a bit happened off screen, and I don't know how much point there'd be to really spend screen time to do it, because it's you have a bunch of other characters that you got to focus on, and that's would it really be part of the plot at all?
Yeah, this is a huge cast.
It is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's one of the things I was thinking about when this was happening, because I'm like, well, this is big, and then you take a moment to think on it. It's okay, I guess I get why. It was just kind of the point we were saying, it's a similar situation. Obviously, she's had a bit more screen time, but we had a similar conversation in the episode when we actually got to meet Whitney's dad, and he loses his dad. It's well, this would have been much more impactful if we actually got to see more of him, But
yeah, we saw him once.
Yeah, exactly, and then we didn't, and not really. And so this is very much to me, it feels like the same thing.
It was also the same episode where they lost their principal, I think. So it was multiple parts of their community and we saw the principal, that actor, more times than Whitney's dad.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that's in their favor for this, I get what you're saying, but one thing that's in their favor is I think this actor who plays Helen, she's really good, and the chemistry between her and Michael Rosenbaum, they played off each other really well. This is totally different than that Victoria person from the first season.
Right.
That, I don't know if it was that woman or if it was just the role. Just those two didn't really click at all, in my opinion. This is different.
For sure.
You could totally see these people getting together.
Yeah.
Especially when you learn that she can drop kick people that are likely 300 pounds. So she's cool. But what's also interesting with the two of them getting closer is the fact that she now has vital information about Clark, and information that Jonathan allowed to happen. It's he took all precautions that he really could, outside of kidnapping her and like knocking her unconscious and like shipping her to another country. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like a Luther would do that. He wouldn't do that, obviously. But
Right.
like he knows, at least he probably knows that Helen and Lex are a thing. The closer they get together, like that is, you know, very important information about Clark that is very close to being in the hands of a Luther who he doesn't trust.
Yeah.
So it was just really interesting.
Yeah. I have one. Okay, I guess technically two questions for you, but one of the usual. I have one other question slash thing I just want to bring up because I always like when these episodes begins with a with the music and whatnot. What do you know who this is? What band this is up here?
This is Stedman. Yeah, I know them. It made me want to look them up again and see if they're still together because I do like them. They it was probably around the same time they appeared on another one of my favorite shows that was also on the WB.
Yeah.
So they must have just been making the rounds.
Sure.
But yeah, I like them. They're kind of Beatles-ish a little bit. Well, maybe more like maybe kind of like Paul McCartney-ish, like as a solo. They kind of have like an olderish vibe. But I like them. And I think it was
Kind
cool
of.
that they were there.
Yeah, no, I do as well. I like I said, we don't. I we could very easily have like another whole other little segment of the show where we talk about all the music in each episode because they're almost always bangers. I feel like. I mean,
We were actually, when were we gaming? Was that yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, we were gaming and like out of nowhere you like started singing a Flaming Lips song. And one of the songs from the previous episode, or maybe it was this episode, it was one of them. It was one of the two episodes for today, had a Flaming Lips song.
That's so
weird.
funny. So funny how things yeah.
But maybe you should get the what was it called? The Talon mix or something.
The Talon mix.
Pete's coming in with the promo again. That soundtrack that he handed to Clark was real. They released that as an actual soundtrack that you can buy, music from Smallville.
Yeah, I'll need to like a complete list of everything. I just obviously I intentionally don't look in anything because I don't want too much Smallville in my algorithm, you know. But like I just need like a complete music list and go through it all because it's like, especially too like the big music they used back then too is overall better than the music we get nowadays. So,
I want to see what was on it. Obviously, Remy Zero Save Me. Weezer's Island in the Sun. When was Weezer on?
It's funny.
Weezer, The Flaming Lips, Ryan Adams, Lifehouse, Phantom Planet, Sixpence None the Richer. 5 for Fighting.
This band only had 2 albums, according to Wikipedia. Stedman.
Stedman? Oh, okay. That means they didn't stay together then. Anyways.
Yeah.
Man, if there wasn't like copyright stuff, we totally should just play.
Oh, you're talking about music. Charmed is the other one. Oh, yeah, I was just looking at this here because I mentioned both the appearance on Smallville and Charmed. So, sorry, go on.
If we could, we should just, while we talk about episodes, play the music that appeared in that episode.
Only YouTube would allow that, you know.
I know.
Here's the thing: is like if we were on Twitch, we could do that because Twitch has there's a way you can play licensed music on Twitch, and it just won't save to the VOD. So anybody watching live, you can do that. I've been meaning to fully set up my streams where you can listen to music, but lately the games I've been playing that with, I wouldn't want music over, but then it's like games like Fortnite. It's like, well, I could turn off the in-game music and do my own, you know.
Do you think they would copyright it though? Since we're like talking the entire time, like you wouldn't be able to like hear, like constantly hearing the. I don't know.
I think it seems like they've been getting better about it, even if it's lower. I feel like I could be wrong, but
Dang.
especially
All right.
music too. YouTube is super stingy with the music above anything else. Like
Hmm.
it's a whole thing, and so
It makes sense.
yeah, it's
I
just
do
the way
like
it is.
though that Smallville is one of the shows, especially as we were talking about like eras of TV. Like this is one of the shows that was able to retain the licenses for their music like on all of their streaming and home video releases. Like we all, as far as I know, like the music that you are listening to on Hulu is the same as what I hear and what Andrew hears on our DVDs and Blu-ray,
Sure.
um, which is definitely not always the case a lot of times. Like there are several shows that like did not have the licensing, so when they put out their stuff on DVD or it gets onto streaming, it's completely different songs that they use.
Interesting.
So this is nice that we get
Yeah.
to retain that because honestly, as we've talked about, the music is just such a big part of the show. Even though like
Yeah.
a lot of it's like in the background.
It's very subtle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's impactful. So yeah.
I make some point too of like there's live performances here and there too, and like they even just did that in Peacemaker season 2, which is great as well. Of like they had a live band play on that, which is cool.
I'm surprised they didn't actually do that more often here because they did specifically. They have this venue of the Talon that
all of the budget, probably budget, but go on.
I think they could afford it, but
You think they?
it's just I mean they set it up like specifically that they have musical performances at the Talon, but it doesn't actually happen that often as far as I remember.
Well, like, wouldn't this have been in it from an era too, where like music videos were a big thing, and they could have made like music videos on the Talon? That'd be interesting.
That would be so cool if they had like actually done that as like a promo thing for the show, like team up with like some band or something and like film a music video, but have it be all like in the Talon and stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe have like because the WB used to do like really cool things where they would do promotionals for the network, where they would do that. They would have like a music video-ish type segment that was like a couple minutes long, and like all the stars from the WB network would be there, like co-mingling together and like talking and partying. It was like a really cool thing that made the network kind of like different from other networks. Like it made it feel like all those shows and all those casts were like connected. So it'd be cool if they'd been done something like that specifically for the show.
I would have been there for it and looked back into it. Bear made a comment a few minutes ago, saying Ian just shared Spencer's karaoke and music choices of life. Funny.
I don't know if that would be your karaoke song. I know it would be your karaoke song. Actually, there's two.
Oh no! I don't know if I want this on air or not.
Well, one of them is where my Wookiee's at.
I knew you were gonna say that one too.
And the other one, I don't know if it's technically a song, but it's a little ditty, and it goes something like, "Bunch of baby ducks, send them to the moon."
Oh, that
you would
little
just
thing
get up in stage and sing that over and over and over.
The biggest problem will be getting me to sing because I not a singer by any means, and I don't got the vocal cords for that. The vocal cords are built that way.
You sing both of those things all the time, so I think I could get you to do it in public.
Yeah. Oh man. I think the only time I've ever done it outright in public, like actually at a karaoke place, was in Japan. I
Mm.
did that once. So
I'm sure I remember you telling me this, so I'm sure I asked you, but I don't remember. So do you remember what you sang?
I remember. I don't remember the song, but I remember it was a Maroon 5 song, but I don't remember what song.
It makes sense.
Oh, it's so funny. Anyway, we're completely like off the rails here. I see that I need to send a particular song to Bear to listen to. I'm gonna send it to you, that song to you, Bear, right after the show. I did sing "Kiss from a Rose" on stream, and that has gotten an award for worst ever thing you could listen to. So
Wait a minute. Wasn't Kiss from a Rose used
yes,
in
it is
the
exactly what you're thinking of. Yes,
ending credits of a Batman movie?
yes.
Okay, I don't have to look it up then.
It's exactly. I was about to say I knew where you were going with this, and I was like, yes. Anyway,
Do you have that recorded somewhere? Was that on stream?
it was. It's out there somewhere, and I'm sure as we're talking about it, Chris is going to find it because it was on his old channel. So.
Okay. Someone send that to me, please.
Oh man. All right. Oh, yep. Here's a YouTube link to it. God damn it. Okay.
Oh, all right. I gotta find this.
All right. No, it's just for you. There you go.
Are you
All right.
sending it to me?
Yep, I got it right there for you. It was a very different time. All right. We're
Thank
completely
you.
off the rails here. We need to let's do our nailed it, Ian.
That poor seal. Yeah.
Oh, that
Okay.
was funny.
Superheroes.
Superstars. Yes, our superstars.
Stars.
I feel like I want to go with the obvious pick of this episode. That's not Clark. But what about you? Or do you want me to go first again?
Either way. I actually want to hear yours first.
Well, I say obvious pick, that's not Clark. And Clark, I think, is a very good pick for this episode, even with him kind of taking a bit of a step back, like still good. But I just liked Jonathan a lot in this episode. And that's why I said, like, it's a very another obvious pick, I think, for the episode, but also deservedly so with everything he did. And he was pushed to the extremes,
Yeah.
in several ways, and I think overall he held himself up well, and you resort to trespassing and everything works out. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's valid.
Yeah.
He literally thought he was gonna lose the two people he loves most. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I thought you were gonna pick Pete.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good pick.
like we were talking about like what he did, and we were talking about like they made it like very apparent and vocal between like Lana and Chloe about their fears of losing Clark.
Yeah,
But Pete's was not spoken. It was through action. Like he probably possibly thought that at that time that he was going to lose Clark. So his actions in that moment definitely was him showing how important Clark and that family is to him. So that was very good. But that's not my pick. I am going for a more subtle pick. And it's for one specific moment. And so that one for me is Lana. And it is because of...
Did she win the staring contest? Sorry, go on.
No, it's specifically because when she goes and sees Clark on the porch before he face plants.
Before. Very important
before.
note.
Big note. it's when he's talking to her about Martha and about how as when he was a little kid, he refused to get on the bus and go to school till she like promised him that she would be
Right.
there when he got home. And every day he came home and there she was. And now he's worried that that's not going to happen. And Lana tells him, "Don't worry, Clark. In a few days, he'll come home and she'll be there." And I think for Lana to be the one to say this, to um give him hope, or at least try to support him in that way, is like really impactful, because like she lost her parents.
Yeah.
She has gone through that. She has gone through that where she had them and then she didn't. And so she knows that loss. She knows how horrible and awful that feels. And she still is reaching out to him to say, "Don't worry, Clark. It'll be okay."
Yeah.
So I thought, specifically for that and what she has gone through, I just thought that was a really good moment for her character. And so for me, it was enough to like give that to her, because like there were so many things in this episode that you could give it to anyone, but
That's true.
that just really stood out to me. So
Yeah, like I agree. Like last episode, I did agree with your point of like it was hard to kind of give it to one particular person, versus this episode had so many great ones. I'm so glad you actually had that as yours, because that was a moment that I loved, and it just completely slipped my mind when we were talking about it to talk about that moment. And like that really does kind of like hurt, it like hit me in the feels there a little bit too. Of like, holy crap, like always from my personal experience at school, anytime I'd come home, there'd always be somebody there waiting for me. And so it was such a great heart touching moment there. And so,
yeah, I usually don't know who it is until we're here and talking about the episode.
Yeah,
and sometimes I even get to the point where we have to give them, and it's like, oh, I'm not sure.
No, I'm the same way. I usually don't fully think about it until we're talking about it through the episode.
But this one, the moment that moment happened, I was like,
yeah,
that's it. That's mine.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way too, where it's rarely that I instantly know what it is,
Mm-hmm.
So unless it's Lionel and last episode. No, I'm joking. I did. But yeah,
we didn't have Lionel in this episode, so
right. I mean the one before, but well, yeah. I think that'll do it though for this. I thought these are both pretty solid episodes overall, though.
mm-hmm.
Next time, I just closed out my Hulu. I shouldn't have done that. Next time, we will be talking about Rosetta and Visitor.
Oh, we are. Okay.
Yes.
That was one of the ones that we had discussed that I was
saying,
well, we could do Rosetta alone.
Well,
but to get it so that we have the finale be
right
one.
Correct. That's why we're pairing it.
Yeah.
So how that's going to make it be is it's we'll have 4 more episodes left of season 2. So this next week will be the third to last double for the season. So exciting.
Very exciting. Next week, very exciting. I'm really excited to see what you guys think.
Yeah, we'll see. Exciting things for the Dingus Den in general. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Always a bunch of stuff coming out. I finally this last week made an intro for the Dingus questionnaire, which I sent it to you, and I got the approval for somebody else as well. So I'm going to finally work on putting those out over the course of the next week or so. And so I just need to fully finish getting everything set up for that. I have a couple recorded reviews of things I need to put out over Void Rivals Volume 1 and 2. So check those out. I also have... actually, I need to finish prepping to put it out, as I will also going to put out a video that me and Warren, who actually joins me for all those Energon Universe reviews, such as Wood Rivals, G.I. Joe, and Transformers. He made his own comic called The Adventures of Sig and Joe, which we recorded an interview a while ago, but like I haven't been in a rush to put it out, but I'm going to finally put it out here this week as well, possibly tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, everybody. So. And also check out the Twitch where I stream D&D there and do things. So always fun time there.
Do things.
Do gaming shenanigans sometimes, you know?
Is that where you have your karaoke moments?
No, not visibly on stream. So what happens when there's no music playing? Maybe I did if I set up like a proper way to do music. I know there's ways you can easily integrate music with Spotify. Thing is my family plays for Apple, so I don't know if there's an easy way to do so. I'd have to look into it. I don't know. We'll see. So I also don't stream enough up on there to really care about it, I feel like, either. I don't know. There's ways, though, that I could do it. I figured out a way once, and then they, like, changed settings around, and I was like, gosh darn it. OBS changed some settings with how some sources work when picking up stuff. And so, like, specifically when picking up, like, audio from a browser. And so it's, like, so annoying. Because it's like, okay, some ways that I had ideas of how to properly do some things one way, I can't really do it anymore that way, you know? Dingus Karaoke After Dark stream. Oh my god, that may never happen. Like, I don't think you all understand how much of a people will outright do karaoke. I'm not one of those people that necessarily want to. I know if I'm hanging out with people I'm comfortable with, I will sing sometimes, but then when there's music, but then when I'm like put on the spot, I don't care for that. This stuff for me. It's not. No.
You should learn how to play ukulele.
It's so. I like the game ukulele.
There's a game.
It's in the vein of
Guitar Hero.
No, it's called Yuka-Lele, and it's in the vein of Banjo-Kazooie, where you play as like a lizard and it's a bat on top of her. And so it's ukulele. So I'll send it to you. Not at all what you're thinking of, but when you said that, that's just like what came on my mind. And I knew you meant the instrument, but
yep.
Yeah.
But you would go that way because that's you.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Don't ever change.
Yeah, I don't want you to ever change either. So, not spelled the same way as the instrument is an important way to say that. I'm actually sending you a screenshot right now, so you know what the heck I'm talking about. Just of the like title card of the game, essentially. So,
I'm waiting.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is. Ukulele.
Yeah, ukulele.
It's weird. This is like some sort of weird version of like Spyro.
You know what Banjo-Kazooie was, right? Like,
yeah. Wait,
so I think.
No. I mean, I know. I'm envisioning Crash Bandicoot, and I know that's not it. So what?
Oh my gosh! All right, we're gonna go on a big tangent. I might as well just end the episode because, like, I'm just gonna like keep on like. Okay, now you need to know who Banjo is. Anybody watching? This is
it's the guy that's like a bear.
Yeah, Bear and the Bird. Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo is the bear. Kazooie's the
It
bird.
literally is that. They just ripped it off.
Well, it's because I think devs that once worked at Rare, it's like several of the people that did that went over, broke off to make that studio, to make that game.
Okay.
So it was like a little indie project that they did. And then they recently just did a remake of it last year where they got built up from the ground up that released in October. I played a bit, I played through the first world on my Switch too. I need to play more of it.
Is that
So
why it says Nintendo Switch and Xbox 360 for a game that was released in 1998? They did
yes,
like a
they've had.
remastered version.
Oh no, those are more just ports. But yeah,
Oh.
emulator, simple emulator. But yeah, anyway. So you'd rather fight zombie horrors before doing karaoke, Spencer?
Yeah, I think you would.
Sure, why not?
I think that you would rather get bit by a zombie than do karaoke.
What kind of zombies are we talking about? If
The
it's Walking
ones-
Dead zombies, I'm okay against fighting against those. But if it's like World War Z, I'd rather do the karaoke. I think World War Z, of all the zombie material I've seen, World War Z hands down has the scariest zombies that you do not want to mess with.
Really?
Have you seen that?
No.
Oh my gosh. There's like one scene in particular with that movie that is terrifying. Like, oh my gosh. So
like, are these like the really like fast type zombies then?
they're like really fast kind, and they'll pile up on each other to climb over walls and stuff. And there's this one
Oh.
scene where they're like escaping from like New York or something like that, and they're like going up a stairwell that's like black and like red lights flashing, and it's just like the zombies like chasing them in there, and like that is like that whole sequence is just terrifying. But yeah, speed zombies exactly.
Speed zombies, yeah, they're the scarier ones.
They're like, but like these are vicious too because they're not just fast. They will pile up on each other to like reach choppers and climb over massive
Yeah,
city walls.
yeah, that's the like, I've never seen that movie, but it's the promo poster is the
Yeah.
helicopter and then
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
then
it
like
is terrifying.
it's like the Baymax.
Okay, go on. the bots things you're talking about.
Yes,
right?
the bots that all
06?
link
Yeah.
together and like
I was
build
trying to figure
bots.
out where the heck you were going with this for a while because I'm like, okay, we're talking about something absolutely scary to absolutely something not scary. Oh,
But you get me. Yeah, they
I
link
got
together,
what you.
yeah.
It took me a while to be like, what are you talking about? Oh, I got you. Yes, like that. So anyway, oh man. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed hanging out. As always, it's always a fun time hanging out with you, Ian and Andrew.
Poor
Next week
Andrew.
we're poor Andrew being
I
so
miss
busy.
him already.
Yeah. Yeah, Andrew's gonna rewatch this and he's gonna be like, what the heck were they talking about for these last 10 minutes?
I mean, first he'll have to get through us. If he picks up where he left off, he'll have to get through about 10 minutes of what kind of mini golf course.
Yeah.
Like-
He's gonna be like, where did this come from? And probably nobody understands that either except for us.
I mean, if he hung out with us more, he might know.
I know, maybe Andrew just needs to hang out with us more.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll try to bug Andrew to download Fortnite and see if he'll play with us. That's what we should do.
Okay.
He's gonna be like, what?
Next week. We'll
Next week.
use some sort of tactic against him.
Something. We're gonna plot all against Andrew. And Bear is saying, Andrew, come back. Anyway, we are done. Thank you all so much for hanging out this week. Until next time, see you all here on the Dingus Den. And yes, you can always blame it all on Dingus. I will